Sayaka Osakabe wanted a child and a career, something unusual in Japanese society. She doesn't want to have to choose one over the other, unlike 2/3 of Japanese women who give up their career aspirations with their first child. After a miscarriage, Sayaka became pregnant again. But there were complications with the pregnancy, and the teacher wanted to take her doctor's advice and stay home for a week.
Then my supervisor came here and sat right next to me. He said that I should resign.
He accused her of being greedy because she didn't want to resign. Instead of support, she was criticized for 4 hours. The next day, she dragged herself to work from 9 a.m. till midnight. 2 weeks later, she had another miscarriage. The 38-year-old is angry at her boss, but above all, at herself, because she allowed herself to be a prisoner of Japanese cultural norms.
It's really disgraceful to become a burden on society here. You can't forego your work because of your private life. That's not the Japanese way. It goes against Japanese work culture.
Fujiko Masumoto opted not to go against the grain. She decided to have a child, just like everyone else here. She's taking an exercise and nutrition course. It's for women who want to prepare themselves, mentally and physically, for pregnancy. Here, they're doing a particular kind of yoga to strengthen the pelvis.
Mostly, it's because my husband really wants to have a child. I love it when he laughs. I want to have a child so I can see him laugh in the future.
Fujiko was a professional musician. She avoided pregnancy as long as she could because she knew it would be the end of her career. Now she spends her days swallowing pills rather than performing concerts. 15 capsules a day. Vitamins, folic acid, omega-3, aliphatic acid, calcium, magnesium, iron, for 7 years now. Her husband takes 19 pills a day. Like Fujiko, he also feels the massive social pressure to have a child. But he doesn't want to undergo a medical examination. Ultimately, they both agree that it's the woman's responsibility.
Japanese society functions like this. You start working at a particular age, you get married at a particular age, and so on. Everything is predestined. Japanese people look at you strangely if you break from this and go your own way.
The so-called salarymen are top executives in the Japanese economy. There are very few women among them. The women who do work with them have poorly paid part-time positions, or they work for temping agencies. They have no job security, no social security, and both their contracts and the working conditions are harsh, despite their having a university degree. According to the World Economic Forum's ranking for equal rights, Japan is at a lowly 101 below Bangladesh, Uganda, and Tajikistan.
The belief that it's better for women to stay at home and it's better for men to go out work have been here since the high economic boom that Japan has experienced post-war.
Company culture is still male-dominated. From overhours to after-work drinks, where workers end up in brothels or hostess bars, where a bottle of champagne can cost upwards of 2,000 euros. It's not really a place for businesswomen. No need for networking. Not only that, working pregnant women and mothers are often bullied in the workplace, like Sayaka was. Their pay is often lower. They can earn up to 60% less than a man in the same position, or they can simply be fired. 1 out of every 4 female employees experiences this, and half of all part-time workers. Sayaka wants to do something about this discrimination. She's breaking the silence by going public with her organization, Matahara.net.
I'd like to spare as many women as possible the sadness, anger, and confusion that I experienced. I would like to improve this situation.
Her biggest success? After a parliamentary debate, a new law intended to increase the number of women in management positions was passed in April. It's a good start, but it's filled with loopholes.
The new law simply states that companies who are incorporating any kind of promotional program for women should report to the government that they're indeed making their own efforts. And it's not quite directed at women themselves.
What women most need are working hours without overtime, childcare, and understanding. But even the ministry that proposed the new law is not happy with its current state.
For example, we submitted a law on job measures to Parliament. It was not adopted. Included in the law was, among other things, that overtime would be better paid than it is now.
Paradoxically, the government would like nothing more than to offset the country's declining birth rate and avoid the looming threat of not having enough workers. Japan's population is shrinking and getting older. But traditions and entrenched discrimination seem stronger than the aspiration of becoming a modern society with equal rights. Sayaka Osakabe knows that her fight will continue.